Studnica Aquatics here. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I've been redoing my boat. I put all new carpet, all new lids, storage compartment lids, and I even closed in the fuel tank in the battery area, and it's coming along real well. Well, this is marine grade plywood. It is 1/2 inch, it is sanded on one side, it's really nice stuff, and it's very expensive since it is actually marine grade, and I do not want to waste that. I don't want to just put it in with my other plywood. So what I'm thinking about doing is building me a tackle box for my tackle, something I can have on the boat that is waterproof, that I can access anytime I want easily. So I have drawn up some plans, and what I'm going to be using is I did come across these. The Plano ones are a little bit expensive, but I found these on sale. They have the rubber gasket around them, and they also latch really nice. And so I have 5 of those trays that will be going into it. I have one smaller one that I'm planning on putting in the other direction. As far as the feet, it's going to have a door on the front, as I mentioned a little while ago, is what it'll do. So I'll have access to it from the front. And I have picked up these handles that will go on the sides. And the really nice thing about this, I will be able to lock it, and then I can actually anchor this into my boat so that nobody will steal it. I have some really nice hinges in here for the lid. They are programmed, you can put your combination lock on it. And I even picked up some of these. These will go on the feet, so it'll go underneath so that it isn't sitting all the way down on the bottom. I have my skill saw out here ready to go. I'm going to be using a guide with that because I can't maneuver this around and run it through a table saw. So I'm going to have to be cutting this by hand, but I want to cut it perfect. So I will add more to this as I go. Okay, I'm making some headway. This is the top and the bottom board, and it will sit just like this, and this will set up about something like that. And these boards here, there's 3 of these. These 3 are this one, and this one. Basically, I have sanded each one of them, have sandpaper here, pretty simple thing to do, just run it over it, smooth out the edge, you know, make it, get rid of those rough edges. So I will keep adding to this. Okay, these are the tray guides, and the front of it would be here, and then you can slide the tray in here, and it goes to end and then up there. And what I have here, these are Torx head trim screws, and they're 8 by 1.25 inches. I picked some up, but these are going to be too long because by the time I get them in there, they just barely stick out the other end. So I have just enough of these to do it, and these will get screwed in from the other side, and I'll probably put 2 to 3 of them on each one. And so I'm going to do that now, and then I'll add more to this later. Okay, when you do this, I marked them so I could see my exact 1/2 inch, and I went in 2 inches from each side. I'll probably end up putting another one down the middle, but in order to make sure they're in perfect alignment, you want to drill them from this side where you can see the line. I don't want to draw a line on the other side because then I'd have to sand that line off. But if you do that, make sure you use a really small bit the first time for all these pilot holes. That way it won't bust wood out of the other side. It makes it nice and neat and clean, and then you can turn the wood over and drill it with the right size drill bit, and then when you put the screw in, it just goes away and you don't have any problems. Okay, this one's done, and this one here, the way I'm doing this, I got a couple little C-clamps, and flush it, put it on the line, put the C-clamp on both sides, and then you can put the screws in to hold it, and then move your way across. Okay, I'm gaining on my tackle box, and I wanted to point one thing out. This isn't something I take with me when I go fishing from the bank. This will be anchored into my boat, and this is marine grade plywood, and it will be treated. It's already treated, but it will be stained. So it's turning out really good, and then this will actually be screwed to the floor from the inside so nobody can steal it. It'll be locked, and it'll be tucked back in the side there in the boat, so I will have a place for tackle at all times. And when I want to go fishing from the bank, all I have to do is grab one of these trays. So I'm still figuring out how I'm going to do these here as far as what's going to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and get a back on this thing and get a front cut and keep moving forward. This tackle box that's going to be permanently attached in my boat is coming along really good. I used all gold hardware. I went ahead and put a classic oak, kind of like a honey oak finish on it, and then put some polyurethane on it. Has little latches down here with a combination lock. There's one on each side, a knob to hold on with, and this will actually be screwed down into my boat so nobody could ever steal it, and all my tackle will be in there, and it will be safe. And I have handles on it to lift it if I need to move it. The lid lifts up. Took a little while to get all this done inside, but everything has been stained inside also, and the way this works is this one was made for that tray right there. I even made one of these that has everything I would need to bank fish, which would be this one. All I have to do is take this one with me and put it in the pickup and go. So that's how it works. It's going to work really, really well. It's permanent storage for my tackle, for fishing. I think what I'm going to do on these three, I don't know. I'm going to make a wooden box down here that I can pull out. That way I can just have stuff sitting in them, fishing pliers, different types of things. I might build 2 of them. I might get one more container. I'm not sure, but I know I'm going to build one right here, and that's what I'm going to do next. I measured the hole to see how big the box would be, and I'm running these through the table saw, and once again, this is marine grade plywood. It's the last of it right here. I don't know if I'll have enough to build 2 boxes, but I definitely have enough to build 1. And so I use my corner clamp, make sure everything's perfectly even, measure down 1/2 inch, up 1/2 inch. I'll do that on this side, this one, and this one, and then it goes, the bottom goes up from the bottom, but then the front piece will be wider so you can't see these 2 seams. It'll cover the whole front. And then I'll probably put just a little piece of wood or something on the front, or maybe cut a hole some way so I can pull it out. The 1 box is done. I need to stain it and finish it yet. Both of the drawers are done, and I also went ahead and stained them. And what I'm using is Minwax Polyshade, and this is actually classic oak because I like that color. And then I am also putting a little bit of clear gloss on there. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And I have just a little bit left in there. Should be enough. So I will let this dry for quite a few hours. My boat storage tackle box is completely done. I need to put it in the boat and anchor it down. I have these little padlocks down here that works really, really well. There's one on each side. Nice cold handles. It turned out really, really nice. And then when you lift this up, then you expose all the tackle. I have 5 trays in here filled with fishing tackle. This small one fills with it, and then I also have 2 boxes. I have this one here that's a little smaller, and I have this one here that's a little bigger, and what that's for is for all this stuff here. But they're just a little bit wet yet, so I want to let them dry. And this slot here, I'm going to pick up another one of these right here. So it is done. I think it turned out really, really well. I think it's going to make a really nice storage area on the boat. And this is Studnick Aquatics. Thanks for watching.